What is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We're talking about WWE SummerSlam 2018. I guess you can say the co-main event has been named for the show, and as of right now, it is the only other match named for the show. We have the Women's Championship match. This is Becky Lynch taking on Natalya. I guess you can say that the WWE's version of the Women's Championship for Monday Night Raw that is held by Becky Lynch is the marquee belt in the women's division. Becky Lynch definitely the number one face in the WWE. You can even debate that with or without Ronda Rousey as a part of being on the roster. But I will tell you this, Natalya being the number one contender is honestly kind of surprising. I can say as of right now, I'm guessing that Charlotte is going to be exclusive to the SmackDown's Women's Championship, I guess you can say. Her coming back and then having the match against Liv Morgan. Definitely SmackDown was ringing the bells that the Queen had finally returned. So I guess she'd been having a lot of her matches on Monday Night Raw and hadn't really been showing up on the SmackDown brand. But although with the wild card rules, it's almost as if WWE is coming as close to dropping the Raw and SmackDown roster splits. Just basically anybody has been going almost anywhere they want to, even though on paper the rules that are only 3 superstars were able to jump back and forth if they were invited. I don't know how to count them because it's not like I can really say which competitors are the which ones, and it's not like Monday Night Raw is really making a big deal of the guys coming out from SmackDown. They just basically have the guys come out there and say, this is it. But Natalya, to me, honestly, although unless it is something for Total Divas, and they're going to build around that, I don't really understand how she is the number one contender. But although, when it comes down to it, I know that they have, a big list of girls on the SmackDown and Raw rosters. Natalya, to me, doesn't really seem like she's a true number one contender. The last time she had a really big match was around Christmas time when she got to have a match against Ronda Rousey for the Women's Championship. And I think that was just basically, even though the show was taped and people knew what was going to happen, to have a draw for people to watch the Monday Night Raw edition that took place on Christmas. They had to have something if they were going to run a live show, a tape show, and not run like some sort of a best of 2018 edition, and that was what they thought was going to make people come in. A lot of people looked at that as one of Ronda Rousey's worst matches in the WWE, although it is somebody that Ronda wrestled against during her training and was supposed to be one of the people that she clicked with the most, one of the friends she had in WWE that made her make the jump from UFC, coming from those WWE documentaries on Ronda Rousey on the WWE Network. I'm not really looking forward to seeing, Natalya beat Becky. I don't think that's what's going to happen. The dream scenario that we all could dream up is that, Becky beats her, and although, they're not really friends on the television show, maybe they could build something with Ronda Rousey being featured on the Total Divas show that, Becky beating Natalya is the reason that we have Ronda Rousey return to WWE. And be on the next pay-per-view fighting against Becky Lynch, sort of having that rematch from WrestleMania 35, and this time being a singles match, just Becky versus Ronda, sort of playing off of the match that we were supposed to see, I believe, at Survivor Series 2018 last year. That probably would be a big match. Today reported on the dirt sheets, I guess you can say, that they're building up a Ronda Rousey. What's her husband's name? Travis Brown, I believe. Maybe bringing him in and then using them in some sort of a mixed match challenge, I guess you can say, mixed tag ordeal. The only thing that I think you could do with that is if you have them fight against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. But although they did that, Extreme Rules, where they hooked them up, put them together, they're an on-screen item as well as being, an off-screen couple. The only thing I see with that is, I do think that a lot of people on WWE Twitter think that it's pretty cool that the two biggest faces in the company are going out at this time. It didn't look like that translated well on screen, and for them to pay off, Rollins. But basically, let's break it down like this: Becky versus Ronda is a pretty straight line. You can debate it. If you're a fan of Becky, you're probably going to say Becky will win that fight. If you're a fan of Ronda, you'll say that Ronda's better. But then when you draw the line and basically say, Travis Brown, if that's even his name, I apologize, against Seth Rollins. Who is not going to pick Seth Rollins to win that match? It's not like you can really pay off of the UFC experience of him and saying that that's going to translate and bringing him in and be a threat. I guess you can build it up because we've never seen him in the ring before, making him look like he was a monster in UFC. Although you look at his record, you might know the opposite because basically why is he not in the UFC right now? But we'll see what goes down with that. But as of right now, SummerSlam's co-main event for the Raw Women's Championship, we're going to have Becky going up against Natalya, and I don't think there's anybody in the world who's going to be picking Natalya to lose this one, even though it's going to be happening in Canada. Maybe she'll do the Bret Hart thing. I'll lose anywhere you want me to, Vince, but I'm not losing in Canada. Becky's getting the win here. Becky's going to be winning at SummerSlam.